everybody. So it's that little middle bit of Christmas, isn't it, where we've had Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and I hope you all had a wonderful, lovely time. I know I did. Christmas Day I went round to my sister's with all the family, and we had a really good laugh doing all the Christmas games and having a lovely lunch and just being together. And on Boxing Day we went round to my wife's family and did the same again, so we had a really lovely time, really lovely 2 days. The only trouble is, day after Boxing Day I developed this horrible cold. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, so I'm feeling a little bit rough, but I thought I'd do a little video of just me out with socks. I've just come round to pick Socks the Beagle up, just to help out the family really. One of them's had to go into hospital, so I've just come in while they go and visit that person. And yeah, we're just going to go for a little walk and grab a coffee and then go back and sit around his for a bit. It's funny really, when you run your own business, like I officially was going to be off from the 23rd of December through to the 3rd of January. But when you run your own business and you have clients that also develop into friendships as well, you don't just leave people in the lurch. So if there is a need, so yesterday I took out Congo and Louie because their owners can't drive or get out very much with their dogs, so they went out with me yesterday, and then today I've got Socks. So yeah, technically I'm on holiday, but then when you run a business that's quite a personal business where you're looking after people's animals, you kind of, well, for me anyway, I'll do anything for them really. So that's why I'm out today. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. You know, whether you're on your own or with family, I think we could all agree it can be quite a nice time of the year when everything shuts down for a day, which makes a change nowadays, doesn't it? Most things keep going all the time now, so it's nice to actually have a day where pretty much everything's shut and everyone could actually relax and be at home or with their pets and their families. I don't know if you can see, it's a really foggy day today. Visibility's okay, it's, you know, probably about 100 metre visibility, but there's a real like heaviness in the air, very foggy. Obviously it's quite Christmassy actually, because we don't get a lot of snow now. It's probably about the closest thing to it. We've got the cold and that sort of just chilly sort of closeness that fog brings in, so it's actually quite alright really, don't mind that. Obviously be careful on the roads if you're out in it, because it gets a bit dangerous. And we're just heading down before we walk to get a coffee, of course. So just at the drive-through.
Hi, welcome to Greg's, how can I help?
Oh hi, can I just get a large latte please?
Yeah, anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Oh, nice one for me.
Thank you. Doesn't sound like he wants to be here. Bless him. Oh yeah. I have, yeah, let's find it. There we go. Got money on there. Lovely, thank you. Perfect, thanks so much, cheers. Got a jumper. Got a Grinch jumper on, very cool. Who doesn't love the Grinch? What a film. What are your top 3 favourite Christmas films? There's a question, isn't it? Cool. I do run another channel about film and TV and stuff, but hey, why not cross over? So I think my 3 are... Oh, it's tricky, isn't it? I'm going to go with number 1 being the Grinch, number 2 being Elf, and number 3 is a tricky one. because I love Die Hard, but a lot of people say that's not a Christmas movie. Actually, I've got a new one that's come in, which I adore, with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, Spirited, on Apple TV. I'm going to put that in at number 3 this year, because it's just so much fun. It's a bit of a play on the Scrooge story, and it's just so well done and so much fun that, yeah, putting that in this year is a bit of a spin, because I would have put Wonderful Life or Die Hard or something like that, but hey, no, we're going to go with number 1 Grinch, number 2 Elf, and number 3 Spirited. If you haven't seen them, have a look, they're really good fun. Is it me, or have people forgotten how to drive? I think this time of year brings out all the terrible drivers. They've forgotten what a give way sign is, or actually when you have to give, that was a big bump, you have to give way on a roundabout or something like that. It's they just don't do it, they just pull out on you. It's crazy. You have to have eyes in the back of your head driving in this country nowadays, because people don't care, they just do what they want to do and everyone else has to get out of their way. That's my rant for the day. So here we are, let's get out the car. Got my coffee, always my coffee. Needed that. It's one of the only things that really gets me going in the morning. I don't really need breakfast or anything like that, just have to have a coffee. Whether it's one made at home or one bought at a shop. Obviously shop ones are more expensive now, that's why I use either Greggs or McDonald's, because they don't rip you off, whereas all the others seem to charge like double what they charge. Here we are. So here's Socks. Let me show you him and show you where we are. This is Socks. He's an 11-year-old Beagle. This way, my love, I haven't locked the car up yet. And an absolutely beautiful boy, and I've looked after him for over 11 years. He was his sister Ro, who's sadly not with us now, was actually my first client, and then Socks came along as a puppy at 8 weeks old and joined the family. So I've been working with him for over 11 years now, and love him to bits. I get to be with him, it used to be 5 days a week, now we do 3 days a week. We do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays mostly, and I get to take him for a walk when I pick him up from their office, and then sit with him until they get home from work. So I spend a few hours with him for those days, which is lovely. As he's got older, he's got funny. He doesn't need to walk quite as far as he used to. Some days he's amazing. Like, I don't know if you saw him in the short I did last week, and he was out in a dog park with all my other ones, and he was running around like he was a puppy again. So he does get little bursts of being young again, but he's had some back leg problems over the years. He's both his cruciate knee ligaments fixed during lockdown, but he recovered well from that, and he's pretty strong, but he's got some hip dysplasia, so we have to be careful that when he meets another dog and plays that he doesn't overdo it. But generally he's a dog that sort of keeps himself to himself. He likes meeting people and other dogs, but as he's got older, he's kind of just happy in his own skin, just sniffing and having a nice steady slow walk really, and that's what he enjoys. And we just take our time, let him go at his pace, don't push him to do anything or go anywhere fast, just let him sniff everything, because Beagles are renowned for their scent. He in the old days, if I used to pull up down the road from where the owners live, he would know my car, or he'd pick up on the scent of me, and I'd hear him in their garden howl, which is amazing, and vice versa for when his owners came home as well. He used to know about 5 minutes before they came home that they were coming, and he would do his little howl, get excited that somebody he loves was coming back. And yeah, their sense of scent is amazing, absolutely amazing. His has always been really good. He loves a bit of Fox's poo, so I have to watch that. We keep him on a Flexi lead now, one of these. and it's an 8 metre one, so he gets a lot of space on that. 8 metres is decent. I don't go for anything shorter than that, because if you've got a dog on a 5 metre flexi, they get to the end of it so quickly and they pull your arm and it can get quite painful. So 8 metres is a decent length for them to feel like they're off lead still and enjoy it. And I don't tend to like these leads really. I'm not a fan of them. Most dogs I work with I've trained to be off lead, and Socks used to be off lead, but because he's slower now and he kind of gets lost in his own space, his own head, it becomes a bit of an awkward walk without him being on lead. And also, if he does find something to roll in, we've got a little bit of control over it, which is a better thing than watching him roll in and then trying to get over to him before he gets too disgustingly covered in it, because he does love a bit of eau de fox. So today I brought him for his little half an hour walk to Colchester Sports Park at Northern Gateway, which is just off the A12 coming into Colchester, where the Colchester football stadium is. And it's lovely. I mean, it's ideally a sports park, so there's normally lots of, these are all football pitches here all the way across there, and there is this walkway around it which is like a pathway set out all around it, so you don't get too muddy. And dogs are supposed to be kept on a lead, but when there's no sports going on, it's fine for them to be off. But as long as you obviously clear up after them, because there's nothing worse than people having to come over and play sports and find people have left dog poops and stuff like that. So yeah, the council that own it and run it, you get half an hour parking for free. You sign that in on the app, on the Me app, and then you get half an hour parking. So you can do a half an hour walk for free. If you're here any longer, then you just pay on the app. So yeah, it's up to you really. But there is loads of little offshoots off of this park, so you can walk for further and longer. But you can just do the circuit, which takes you all the way around, which I reckon is probably about a mile, but by the time you do the whole circuit of it, which is pretty decent. And obviously people come here on their bikes, you can cycle around it. There's rugby clubs moved to here, so there's rugby going on. It's a really nice place to come actually. And at the moment the rugby guys are over practicing over the back, and yeah, the pitches are raised slightly, so I imagine they don't get too boggy. So it's a really quite a well designed sports park actually. They've done well. And there's also, I think, a little velodrome type biking area as well, just that way somewhere. I haven't seen that, I haven't been over there. I haven't got a bike at the moment, or ever. No, I've obviously had bikes, but I haven't got one at the moment. Yeah, so it's a nice place to come and walk. It's a bit dank and grey today, but very chilly. I think it's 2 degrees, which is very cold. You enjoying it, Socks? Socks, you enjoying it? Can you see he just gets caught up in sniffing? He finds a scent from a wild animal or another dog, and he just loves it. Enjoying it, aren't you, mate? Hey? It's funny, isn't it, when you've got a passion for something, you talk about it a lot, and people tend to talk to you about it as well, because they know you're interested in it, and it makes conversation. So over Christmas, obviously, while we're chatting, I end up talking dogs a lot, because it's my main passion in life, being around our 4-legged friends and everything to do with them. And someone asked me about, I was talking about the dog's sort of sense of smell, and I came up with an analogy for it. And I don't know if any of you have seen the film Bruce Almighty, and in Bruce Almighty he's given God's powers for a certain amount of time, and he gets overwhelmed by it. So there's a scene in there where he suddenly realizes that everybody's praying around the world, so billions of people are coming into his head and overwhelming his head with prayer. He can hear like a billion voices and more of people praying. And my analogy was, because then he starts to try and write them down, he puts them on post-it notes all over the house, which becomes full straight away, and then he does other things to try and like get these prayers down, and in the end he puts them onto a computer and just answers them all with a yes, which causes the world's the whole world to go into meltdown because everybody wins the lottery, everyone gets their answered prayer, and it all just becomes an absolute mess. But the analogy for me for dogs is when they pick up on things with their noses and it goes into their brain to process, it must be a little bit like that, because they have got at least 40 times more powerful smell than us. So if you imagine when we put an aftershave on or a body spray, and for us it smells nice and we can kind of go, oh yeah, that's nice. For a dog, times that by 40, it must be overpowering. And then when they're out and about, all the different smells that are thrown at them from foxes, from squirrels, from other dogs, from people, from rubbish, from calf scent and car fumes and everything, it just must be amazing how they process it in their little brains and actually cope, really, to not send them mad, because it's just incredible, really. And that was my analogy, really, of how dogs cope with smelling. If you can see, the nose is down all the time, so everything he does is all scent led, more than anything else, and it just stimulates him so much. Sometimes when we get back from a half an hour or an hour walk, depending on how he is, he just goes to sleep. He'll go upstairs and get on the bed, or he'll go sleep next to me on the settee, and even though he's not running around like other dogs do and playing, because he does do that sometimes, most of the time he's sort of doing this walking but smelling everything, which uses up a lot of energy for dogs when they're sniffing. So if you've got a dog that you can't get out of the house quite so much, if you're not well or something, whoops, sorry about that, then actually you can play scent games with them, and that can really help stimulate them and burn some energy mentally rather than physically. So I don't know about you, if I feel ill, a lot of people say stay in bed and wrap up and all that. I actually feel a bit better when I get out, getting into the fresh air. I mean, it's freezing today, I have to say. My hands are frozen holding the camera, but I find it actually better to get out. I feel it clears your head a little bit and sort of stimulates your mind and your body a little bit. So for me, I prefer it than just laying in a bed and not doing anything. So yeah, that's for me anyway. Not everyone's like that. Hello there, you alright? And just someone going on the run around the track. Yeah, so I think being out for me just wakes me up a little bit, and I am an outdoorsy sort of person, really. I do prefer being outdoors. Even if you're not moving around very much, you can still enjoy the outdoors just by sitting and watching the world go by. It's just a bit more, for me, it's nicer than sitting in a hot room, stuffy. It's just nice to be out. I talk so much, my coffee gets cold. Still nice though. It's actually still warm, it's not too bad. So yeah, going back to leads, so Flexi lead are probably my most hated leads of all, but they serve a purpose. If you're walking one dog like Socks, who's not a puller or anything like that, they're a great idea. And also they're good if you've got a dog that can't be let off and you do want to give them a little bit of like freedom on the walk. They're good for that. But I've seen people use them on roadsides, and I had one lady a few years ago was walking about 3 or 4 dogs, all small like Shih Tzus or something like that, and one of them was on a Flexi, and it obviously went onto the flex part of it rather than being locked off, and the dog ran into the road. Luckily it didn't get hit, but it was very, very, very close. So I'm a little bit anti-Flexi leads in those sort of situations, but I think they're a great tool if you walk a dog on a normal lead, and then when you get to the park to put them onto one of these, that's fine, because it gives them the sense that they've got that freedom of a free walk rather than being on it all the time. So they make that clicky noise as they go in and out. It almost becomes a conditioning behaviour for a dog, that they hear the click and they think they can go, so it can make them pull sometimes even though it is locked off. So yeah, I prefer a normal lead on the collar, or even a rope lead done properly, and then put them onto a Flexi lead, or even I prefer a long line where you can reel it in and reel it out and do some proper recall training with long lines. That's what I prefer. So I'm looking down a lot because I don't want to slip over. So we've been out for about half an hour now, so we're heading back to the car so we don't run over time on the ticket. And yeah, it's been a really nice walk actually. Sort of cleared my head a little bit. Still feeling a bit rough, but you get on with it, don't you? Cut the tablets and get on with life. Best way to be. Just met some lovely people with a little Boston Terrier, a little family walking around. Had a little chat. I didn't want to put them on camera. But yeah, it's just a nice place to come just for a quick walk, or obviously if you pay a bit more you can stay here for longer. It's nice. So Colchester Council in Essex in UK took a long time to build this, and it must have cost a lot, but here's the rugby club. I think they're practicing. I don't think they've got a game on today. Over here, I think this is a practice pitch because I think it's AstroTurf, so I imagine they play games on it as well because there's sponsorship all around it. And then up here you've got Colchester Rugby Club, so you can sit out there and have a drink and all that, and then seats all around here so people can sit and watch the games. It's a bit hazy over there today for you to see anything, isn't it? Sox is getting excited there, could hear all the men shouting for the ball, like calling out to each other, and he was like, oh, where's that coming from? And he was like thinking, oh, that sounds exciting. So he went over to have a little look. Here he is. So we're just heading back to the car. Like I said, we've been over here about half an hour, so that's the free stay time up, which is quite good actually if you want to do a little walk with your dog. Everywhere costs nowadays, doesn't it? So to get half an hour for free is decent. Here's my little car. Come on, buddy. Oh, you're going that way, are you? You're going across there. I'll come that way too then. And you can, don't forget, you can like and subscribe. That really helps the channel grow and reach out to people. And if ever you see me around when on my travels or around Colchester, you can come and say hello and then watch the videos, like and subscribe. Oh my life, you don't realise how cold you are until you get back in the walk for a car, do you? It's absolutely freezing out there. My hands are frozen. I'm just trying to warm them up before we get going. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It wasn't much to it, I know, but I think some videos like that are quite nice, aren't they? Where you can just come along on a little walk and have a little chat. And hope you're having a wonderful middle week of Christmas. Don't know what I've got planned for 2025. Try and do some more trips hopefully, and do some videos with the dogs. I've obviously got Bixie and Bumble, my springers. They come pretty much everywhere with me, and yeah, they'll be out. Bumble's having a lovely time at the moment at his other family that he used to live with. He goes there when the kids have holidays and he does a little sleepover, and they really get excited by that, and he loves them, so that's really nice. So I'll pick him up later on today. Bixie's at home with my wife having a lay in bed, which is good, so I'm just out with socks. And yeah, so yeah, 2025 is only around the corner, about a week away. Well, not even that now. And yeah, see what happens with the videos and the channel. And it's fast approaching 1,000, so thank you so much to everybody that's followed the channel for a long time or a short time, or just joined and subscribed. Share it with your friends, get them to subscribe as well, that'd be great, and like every video that I do, and that'd be brilliant. And yeah, I'll see if I can keep growing it. It's really exciting. It's just nice when you start reaching a number that means something, and 1,000 is quite significant, so I'm quite happy with that, and really good. And so until the next one, thanks so much for watching. Take care, see you soon.